Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the slightly less rusty Budget Mini Clubman. Right, tonight I'll start the episode with my dinner. I'm having a fisherman's pie. I'm not really, I had this many nights ago now, but grab this out of the recycling bin and I'm going to use the cardboard as a template. It's been used to death. If you've watched other videos or forums or just genuinely just looking around, you'll find this is a good tip because you're not wasting your metal. I'm going to tackle inside here. If you remember from me doing the floor, you see I cut the square out because there's an awful bodge that was in there before. So we've got rid of that and I've got the square and I'll need to make a template. So for you guys out there that have not started your restorations or looking for ideas or trying to get, some basically ideas around some of the issues on your car, if you're going to repair panels instead of replace panels, which is a lot of what's happening to this car, good tip. So another tip is scrap steel. I mean, this does look rusty, but it's really not. It's just been sat in the garage. Anything bare steel will start to rust. So obviously I'll clean all that back. It's got like a coating on it anyway. So that was left over from when I made my mini trailer. Any of you guys that follow me on Instagram would have seen I made a back end of a mini into a trailer, or I bought one semi-done and did it properly. So that's now been sold and now is on the back of a Type 2 van, VW van, which is chuffed to bits, but it is pink. But it looks awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. I'm really chuffed with that. I've always wanted to do one. I was going to use it on one of my cars, but never did. Anyway, another story on that one. We might do another one day. So I'm going to show you the area that I've got to deal with, draw around this with a pencil or a Sharpie, and let's get cracking on this repair, because if we can get this sorted, I might get rid of this front end now. Let's get rid of it. Get all the rust out. But no. My actual plan is Flitch panel repair, seal on. Before the seal on, you'll see the colour, and then the quarters going. So that's going to be a big job. I'm a bit nervous about doing a reporter, but we'll get around it. So onwards and upwards, let's get a pencil. Right, so it's a very rough template. So this is basically the aperture there, and the dotted line underneath is a flange I need to make to bend back round, because anyone that knows minis knows that the Flitch panel bends underneath the actual floor pan. So that's how I know to cut the steel and leave a bit extra so I can put a fold along that line. So, very simple, let's get cutting some steel. Right, so once I got the template cut out, I've cut and left longer around the lines because I've got to give for the profile of the steel that I've obviously traced around. So we'll stick it in the corner, like that. And sometimes you need to use masking tape just to hold it down, but really, with a template this size, should be absolutely fine just to then trace around that. So, see, that's why I use masking tape sometimes. And then straight down. So there's our bit we need to cut out, but I'm not going to throw that away, throw the template away yet, because I need to know where my fold's going to be. So I'll cut this out. Then we'll get rid of all this back into the scrap bin and go from there. Right, so obviously my original template there with my fold line. Here's the piece of steel. Obviously I've cut out a basic shape and I've used one of these fibre wheels just to clean it up. So you can see it's nice, it's good steel. And it's the correct profile, which is always a good thing to have. So I'm going to try this for size now. From my original attempts, or my previous attempts should I say, making patches tends to take, or patches, I don't like that term, repair sections. I normally take a few attempts to do it, which is why I always try and do it out of a cardboard template first. It's just practice at the end of the day. It's seeing something, looking at different contours and working from there. If you've watched my previous video, you should see that I've done a bulkhead repair, and I put that off for quite a long time, but I wanted to get the engine bay done. And I was really chuffed with it. That was made out of 2 sections, welded together, tacked into the car, then gently welded round, and it looks, I'm really chuffed with it. It's probably the best repair I've done on the car so far. So if you haven't already, please go check out that video. I think it's 3 or 4 videos back. But for now, let's crack on with this. Let's get this nice shiny bit of steel lined up in here. Right, so sometime later, this is useless. Well, it's not useless, but it's not right. So like I did mention, I never get it right first time. For me, I like to sort of eyeball it and just try and get it right, and it's never the best, even with that little template that I did. But the template did work because it showed me where I went wrong as well. Basically, I didn't leave enough on the bottom for my fold. So I now, out of the same bit of scrap steel that I've got, cut an O piece off, bent that fold into it, literally by me just leaning on it. So I just sort of put it down on a piece of wood and just pushed against it. So because the Flitch panel's curved, I've now got that nice profile. Quite chuffed with that. So this actually fits really well. So what I'll do is I'll flip you around now and I'll show you where I'm at with it. I've left enough around there so I can I've left enough around there so I can fold along around the floor, but I won't be worried about that too much until it's actually tacked in place, and when it's welded in place, then I'll weld it up to the floor. Obviously the fold goes with the contour of the Flitch panel, and I've left quite a bit on here because my outer seal mates onto the back of that. So I'll flip it around now and we'll show you how it fits. I've had it actually sat there and it's so nice and tight, the fitting of it, I've not even had to hold it in with clamps. So really chuffed. So sometimes mucking up does show you where you went wrong, so don't be scared to have a go. I don't get it right, loads of us out there don't get it right. You're basically repairing original panel, so you've got to try and create that, but I am really chuffed with that. I've literally lent on a piece of wood to get that. So let's see how it fits. Right, so you can see what I'm dealing with here. I've cleaned all this background there. There's your floor, and look how nice that looks, being clean and tidy. So the angle there is basically because this panel is angled there. I've basically cut out everything that was rotten. So that's what I've done. So you got the curve of the Flitch panel there, and I will hold it just so it doesn't fall off for you guys. But I've got a nice tight weld line. That's where I went a bit giddy and cut, so I'll just weld that back up. And you can see I've left quite a bit here from a sill now to mount onto it. You see the sill down there on the floor. I've obviously checked that I've got it at the right height. So, but that there's a curve there, and I've created that, and it literally feels exactly the same. Really chuffed with that. So let's get this prepped up and welded in. You might have seen from the last video I ran out of gas, so, and being the festive period, it's not the best. So might see if I've got enough gas just to tack it in for now. See how far we get. But I'm chuffed with that. Right guys, so before I finish welding this up, you can see the penetration I got from the inside as well. So that's the new floor pan we've just put in, and this folded round. So basically what I've done is made a bit of a relief slit here, because this is the piece that the sill butts up to, and then I folded it round, and look, there's the shape of the floor pan. I'm really chuffed at that. So I'm now just gonna stitch weld this to the floor pan and clean the rest back. Right guys, so we lost the light pretty quick, but I'm one of them, I really wanted to get this done. So you can see there, it's all welded in. I had just enough gas to get that finished, welded in. I've not filmed it, but I've obviously ground it all back, tidied it up best I could. Next job will be seam seal all the floor properly in. From underneath you can tell it's had a floor pan. I'm not going for a show finish here, but the idea is, you know, it's a solid panel. And remember, that pattern panel only cost us £10, so I've done the best I can. All the flutes line up nice, so when the car gets flipped round, you know, so you can see the underside, you'll see all that. So I'll show you now the repair, and then we will call it that, I think, for this episode. Really quite chuffed, really happy how it's gone around the bottom of the floor, and it just shows that you might not make the panel first time, but give it a second attempt and you'll get there with it. So everything like that, making panels, is practice, practice, practice. So right, let's have a look. Right, so you can sort of, there roughly was where the panel started, and then it came up round here. So I've left this a bit big because the seal's going to go on here. All under there is stitch welded, sorry, all round to the bottom of the floor pan. Can't really see it, but yeah, really chuffed with that. So another solid panel. Right, so like I've mentioned, I keep tabs of my hours. So my wobbly board, we're now at 33 hours. Once again guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please watch the rest of this series. If you're new to this channel and you fancy subscribing, please subscribe and hit that bell, because then you won't miss out on any future videos. Give this video a thumbs up, and next step will be colour reveal and get the seal on. Let's get some gas first.